welcome back to another episode of the Amateur Hour podcast. Colin is here again.
Hello.
Roman is here as well.
How you guys doing?
And today we're breaking down the NFL wildcard race. We did an episode last week about talking about which teams are the best in football. Me and Colin gave it to Baltimore and New Orleans. New Orleans, however, lost to San Fran this weekend.
What a game.
That was a crazy
game.
But we're talking about the wildcard race this time. Who we think is going to come through in those wildcard spots. Starting with the AFC. It's pretty tight right now in the hunt. You've got the Bills in that first spot. You've got the Steelers in that second spot.
Yep.
And you've got the Titans tied for that spot with the Pittsburgh Steelers at 8-5. The Bills are at 9-4. The Texans, however, are also at 8-5.
And they are also tied with the Titans. Sorry, I just completely cut you off. And they're also in the same division.
What?
I just completely cut you off. I thought you were still going.
Oh,
God,
no,
someone
I'm
continue.
done.
Oh, I was saying how the Texans and the Titans are in the same division.
That's what I just said.
The AFC South.
Okay.
Moving on.
Sorry.
I'll just how I feel this is gonna go. I don't think the Bills are gonna win their division. I know they're one game back with the Patriots. They do have to play the Patriots still, but that's at Gillette Stadium. Gillette Field, what's it called?
Gillette Stadium.
Gillette Stadium. I don't think they're gonna end up because the Patriots got the Bengals and the Dolphins still to play along with the Bills. The Bills have to play the Steelers, the Patriots, and the Jets. The Steelers is a tough game, especially given the circumstances for the wild card that we'll go over.
1v2
The Patriots and then the Jets can always surprise you, even though the Bills are at home. I think the Bills will win that game, but the Patriots look like they're gonna be able to take care of business here, win that one. I think the Bills will be the first wild card spot though, and it all depends on the game coming up. The Steelers playing Roman's Pittsburgh Steelers playing the Bills.
That's
a huge game
that is a huge
You know the
game.
NFL
It's
changed.
at Pittsburgh though.
The NFL changed the time of that game. It was supposed to be a 4:25 game.
That's
on
prime
Sunday,
time now?
and now they changed it to 8:20, and they swapped it with like the Oakland game or something like
That's
that.
a huge
It's
game.
gonna be an interesting
And you know what else
game.
is a huge game? The Titans when they play against the Texans on Sunday, because at Tennessee at 1 p.m. those teams are tied for first in the AFC South, and they still have to play each other twice. They play each other then, and they play each other last game of the season. They're both tied at 8-5.
Wow.
How I think it's gonna go. Sorry, let me just give my second pick here. I kind of think the Bills are gonna beat the Steelers.
That's gonna be a tough game. I don't know.
And
I don't know, man. That's
And
gonna be a
I
tough
think
one.
the Steelers, who also have to play the Baltimore Ravens, who may have locked up the 1 seed in the NFL at that point, but they do have to play the Baltimore Ravens in the last game of the season, and I think that Pittsburgh might get the 2nd seed still because the Titans have to play the Texans twice, and the Titans have to play the Saints. They still have to play the Saints as well. So Pittsburgh kind of look okay at nabbing that last spot, like to a degree. Do they have any of the tiebreakers?
I agree with Jacob because the Titans are they have to play the Texans twice and the Saints. Those are their last 3 games. They're not winning all 3 of those games.
Well, here's a big thing about the Titans right now. It's the Tannehill effect.
Tannehill,
been
by
playing
the
well.
way,
He's been
has
playing well.
the best passer rating in the NFL.
Okay,
Wow.
my thing with
Last time I checked, at 122.
But we're talking about he's playing 2 good defenses now. We've seen how Tannehill can play before. He's not.
Yeah,
he's not.
Hey, the Titans have won 4 in a row.
Oh, I'm not trying to shit on them.
And they beat some teams with good
They
defenses.
spanked on
They
the
just
Texans.
beat the Raiders.
Oh, no, sorry, yeah.
They beat the Colts, who have a great team. I know they beat the Jaguars, who were not as good. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Chiefs like a month ago. That's insane.
Yeah.
That ruined our parlay for the week. But
But
I think that the Texans and Titans are splitting too many games against tough opponents. Like they're playing each other twice. Texans have to play the Bucks. By the way, the Buccaneers dumped the Texans when they played them last.
yeah.
42 something.
Yeah, it was bad.
I'm trying to find that game, but I'm very confident of that having happened.
Yeah, I agree with Jacob on all the takes. I don't think the Titans are gonna the Titans
Was it
are
not
the
the
only
Texans?
Maybe it
real.
was not the Texans.
I swear the Buccaneers dumped a good team. I thought it was the Texans.
Wasn't it Indy? Didn't they just dump Indy?
No, but there was somebody else.
The
Okay.
Bucks just beat Indy. That's what it was. They didn't
Well,
dump
by the way, the Texans just beat the Patriots 2 weeks ago. Then they got dumped
Railed by the
by
Broncos.
the
That's what I was
Broncos.
saying. They got railed by the Broncos. That's what I was trying to say. But anyways,
hang on, let me find who the Buccaneers slapped a few
The
weeks ago.
Bills
Alright, you go
Steelers
find
game.
Oh, the Rams.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's right.
I
We're
thought the
amateurs
I
Texans.
think that also screwed our parlay.
No, we didn't bet.
We did not bet on that game?
But
That Bills Steelers game is going to be so interesting. But my only thing with the Steelers is I'm still not sold on Duck.
Duck.
I'm not sold on Duck at all. Third, 4-string QB coming in. Don't get me wrong. He is doing bits
Is
right
he a
now.
fourth string?
He is a four. He was our 4th-string at the beginning of the season.
Oh my goodness.
4-string.
yeah.
But
That's
our
crazy.
offense, we can't put up good. We don't put up big numbers.
Your defense.
Our defense is doing bits right now for us.
Yeah.
That Fitzpatrick trade was insane, and he's
What did I tell you?
playing.
What did I
I
tell
know,
you?
I know. I
Roman?
didn't think. Well, at that time, we did not look like we would be in the talks of wild card. We were like 1-4 at that time.
That is true.
Okay, I'm looking at the schedules right now. I think the Steelers finish 9-7. I think the Titans finish 9-7. I think that
Steelers win.
the
Steelers beat the Titans, I believe.
they haven't played each other.
Why did I think?
There's no tiebreaker that's like
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry.
wide open right now. Like you'd have to look in more depth. But I think they'll finish 9-7. Both of them. I think the Texans will have 10 wins, and I think they will win the AFC South. They'll finish 10-6 because I think they're going to beat the Bucks in a couple weeks. I think that the Bills are going to win at least one game and finish with 10 wins at least. They could finish with 11 if they beat the Steelers. And I think the Steelers are also going to finish 9-7 because I think they're going to lose to the Bills, beat the Jets, and lose to the Ravens. I do not know what the tiebreaker procedure would be if they tied on records.
Well, Titans, I think they're gonna win 1 out of the next 3. I would be surprised if they beat Houston twice or even.
I think they'll beat them once. I think they're
that's what I'm
split.
saying. So
That's what I'm saying. They're going to win one, go 9-7.
win 1. Steelers. Personally, I think we either beat the Ravens or the Bills. I think we go 10. I really do. Who's the other one we play? I would hope we beat the Jets, but knowing our luck, Le'Veon Bell's gonna come in and just screw us.
I'd love to see that happen.
Huh?
I'd love to see that happen.
So
course you would.
the tiebreaker, since the head-to-head is not applicable, if they both finish 9-7, it would be the best one-loss tied, so the best win percentage in the games played in the conference. That I do not care to look at right now.
Oh, in conference.
I'm not 100% sure who's doing better in the conference, but like it's gonna be tight. Whatever it is, it's gonna be tight.
Let's move to the NFC.
I think Steelers. Let's just sum it up. Steelers, Titans for that second spot. Bills are gonna lock up that first spot, wild card.
Yeah.
Texans are gonna win that division.
You think the Bills are going to lock up the first wild cards?
Yeah, like I said, I think that they're gonna be able to beat the Steelers, and if not, they're gonna be able to beat the Jets. And I don't see the other teams reaching the 10 wins that the Bills have against the Jets. We'll put them at 10 wins, and I don't think the Titans or the Steelers will be able to reach that 10-win plateau. Although the Steelers beat the Bills, and they can reach that 10-win plateau and maybe get tied with them, and they'd have the wild card. But I think the Bills will lock up the number 1 spot.
For the Steelers, it's not so much beating the Bills, which is a possibility.
If you
It's
want the
Ravens.
first wild card seed, it is a big deal.
But I'm just saying, you can never count out the Ravens playing the Steelers. You never can count out anybody playing each other in
That's
that
true.
division, rather than Cincy, because they're
But
just
I mean,
garbage.
you've got Action Jackson right now.
Who
You
will
kinda-
probably not play in that game.
You don't know that.
I'm just saying, you would have to be dumb
Why?
to start. You want to risk an injury?
They have clinched the AFC North. They've already clinched.
They're going to clinch the first spot, most
and
likely.
What if they don't clinch the first
Then-
one?
the,
then
pro-
he
the,
plays.
the problem is if the Patriots can catch them. And
No, I
then
understand
and
that.
the Steelers is not an easy game.
I
like
think they
I
should
said.
just go for it. Why not? Like, it's one game.
Yeah, but if you already clinched, why the hell would you play them?
If you clinch the 1 seed in the
If
NFL,
you clinch the one seed,
Yeah.
then I would understand why
I
you don't
agree.
play 'em.
I agree. I'm
That-
saying
that-
if they
that's-
clinch,
that's what we're
which
saying.
I
Okay.
think they will.
Enough about the AFC. Let's move to the NFC. This is where it gets a little bit
Even
more
tastier.
interesting. You have the under 500 Dallas Cowboys leading a division
hate
in
that.
this. in this. Right
That
now,
is so annoying.
Right now, the Seahawks have the top wild card spot. The Vikings are second. You have the Rams in the hunt for that spot. The Bears are also kind of,
That's it.
in the shadows.
That's it. Them
And that's
four.
it. That's it.
Yeah, like, I'm just upset that, one, we lost to the Rams last night. and 2, that the Saints lost a thriller to the 49ers. That would have helped out the Seahawks.
Hey,
so
credit
much.
to Jimmy G. He proved a lot of people, including me, wrong. He came through in a big moment. What's gonna be the deciding factor on Jimmy G is if he can keep doing this.
I mean, I wouldn't throw that to Jimmy G so much. I would throw that more to George Kittle. And the
Kittle made a
Saints
crazy play
and the
at
Saints'
end.
inability
That
of
was insane.
tackling a player.
I mean, hey, they put up 48 points against a great defense. I know
No, I
Kittle
agree.
came through late for that game, but
Yeah.
hey, like Jimmy G was on it that game.
Yeah,
That was
Best game of his
one of the
season.
best games of his career.
Probably.
Well, yeah.
Alright.
I think the last game of the season between the 49ers and the Seahawks is going to be so pivotal.
Oh yeah.
Between home field advantage throughout the playoffs if you win, or having to go through the wild card.
I mean, extra game
And probably play
Yeah,
Dallas.
and probably- Yeah, like
in Dallas.
I would love to play Dallas in the wild card right now. Honestly, that would be great. But they're gonna win. But they have a very good chance of winning their division. So I don't think.
Hey, now that I have you on record, how do you feel about Deshaun saying that the Cowboys would wipe the floor with the Seahawks in the playoffs?
Deshaun, I think you're delusional. I think you are just like every other Cowboys fan out there. The Seahawks clearly have a much better team than you guys do. On paper, it looks like you guys are better, but just eye test. Coaching, eye test, we're way better. You
What I
guys have a lot
will
of
say
weapons,
about the
but
Cowboys that their roster is good enough to explode on any given occasion and come alive against a big team.
That is true.
And it also is down to if Jason Garrett gives Ezekiel Elliott the ball, because he doesn't.
He
give him the
hasn't
ball
been
right
giving
now.
him the ball.
He literally won't give him the ball, and if he gives him the ball in the playoff game,
They win.
They can do a lot of damage in that playoff game.
They are a designed run the football team. That's why they have like the best O line in the league, and that's why they have had the best O line in the league for the past like 5 years.
They've drafted O-line.
Because they want
They
to
wanted
be
it.
a
They were
power
smart.
running team,
Well,
and
he's
now
not.
they
They
are
know
not
their-
a power
because they
running
know
team.
their QB isn't going to win the game for them.
His time. What was eye-opening last night being the Seahawks game was how fast your pocket crumbled. Your
Yeah.
O-line is not good.
We got exposed last night. It was really not good.
It was heartbreaking to watch, especially for our play.
At the time recording last night.
Yes,
Last
last
night,
they got killed by the Rams.
I mean,
Killed.
the Rams have a great defense. They are much like the Cowboys, where they can explode in any night. I think the Rams are better than the Cowboys, but they're similar, where it's like they've got a lot of talent on that team, but they still haven't figured it out completely.
If the
And
big thing about the Rams is their offense. If they can put up 21 to 28 points a
Oh,
game,
man, I know.
it is so hard to break down that D.
their defense is insane. Russell Wilson had no time in the pocket last
Oh,
night.
you got Clay Matthews and Aaron
Like,
Donald coming at you. My lord.
We just lost our backup running back, so now we only really have one running back. Our wide receiver core has gone to shit for the past couple years, but it just seems like he's throwing to no names. Now it seems like I'm
Metcalf's
cheering.
not doing terrible.
Now
for
I'm
you.
cheering on Jacob Hollister and this undrafted guy named Turner and Mike and like Davis and
Yeah,
all these
Metcalf.
guys. Like, I don't know, man. Man, Russell's finding a way to get it done with all these no names on the offense. I gotta applaud him for it.
Last night did not work though.
Last night
Oh.
Last night was not good.
That's the only thing that worries me about the Seahawks is how fast that pocket crumbles.
Unfortunately, at this point in the season, I'm gonna have to give the Niners the upper hand in this division.
Yeah,
I mean, they
as
are
of right
one-
now, yeah.
But hey, they got the Falcons and they got the Rams to play at home, and they play the Seahawks away.
In Seattle.
And this division could end up finishing tied, but if I had to bet, I'd probably go with the Niners winning that, which means the Seahawks would get the top wild card spot because they don't have a tremendously difficult schedule either. They have to play the Panthers, Cardinals, and Niners.
Yeah.
Two of those being at home. As far as the third seed goes, I think that the Rams play they're at Cowboys, at Niners, home to the Cardinals. I kind of want to go with the Vikings, who are at Chargers, home to the Packers, home to the Bears. I think the Vikings are going to be able to take down enough of those opponents to get into the second wildcard seed.
It's fair.
Any disagreements there?
No, I think it'll be Seattle Vikings in the end. It sucks that the Cowboys are gonna get into the playoffs. I hate that formula, man. Like,
Well,
if you go,
mean,
if
hey,
you are 500 or like a little bit below 500, you should not be going into the
Hey,
playoffs.
the Eagles are playing the Eagles haven't played the Giants at the time we're recording. It
will
could
play
be
tonight.
we could end the night both teams tied at 6 and 7. The Eagles have to play the Redskins. Then they host the Cowboys.
That's gonna
Then
be
they have to play
good.
the Giants again. The Eagles.
Very winnable games.
I'm a Giants fan, and I'm telling you, the Eagles can beat the Giants both times, so we suck, and we have a lot of injuries. They can easily beat the Redskins, because the Redskins suck. And then at home against the Cowboys,
It has to be
when the Cowboys still have to play the Rams,
Thank you.
the Eagles could win that division realistically.
The Eagles
And
can
they
realistically
could
win the
end the day tied for first. And the Eagles could come through, and the Cowboys would be out.
There
of
is
the
no
playoffs.
team-
Can you imagine that Cowboy team is the playoffs, by the way?
There is no team in that division that has a winning streak right now.
That's what I mean. They all suck. The
They
Giants,
suck.
the Giants, by the way, their franchise record for losses in a row is 9. Right now they're at 8. If they lose to the Eagles tonight, they will be at 9.
It's gonna happen.
Might happen.
It's
Sorry,
gonna
boss.
happen.
I
It's
think
in
it's gonna
Philly
happen.
too, right?
I think it's gonna happen.
Giants
Evan Ingram's out. Our backup tight end is out. Sterling Shepard is
Shepard
back.
is-
Golden Tate's injured. Saquon Barkley hasn't been himself recently.
Dude,
Daniel
got injured.
Jones is injured. You got Eli Manning playing again. He hasn't played since week 2.
Do you think Barkley rushed himself back too quick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was
Yes.
stupid for absolutely
Yeah.
no reason.
100% he rushed himself back too quick. He hasn't been the same. Next year we're gonna see Saquon back to his best. He's gonna reclaim top running back in the
Yeah, he
NFL.
will.
That's gonna.
Is that it?
There's gonna be some heated people about what I just said.
About,
Yes, there will
about
be.
Saquon?
Yeah, I just.
I
I also
what
think
just said.
Saquon's the best
Deshaun.
back in the league. I
Yeah.
also
Yeah,
think
yeah, you're
Saquon's
gonna
the
get
best
But
back in the
I
league.
think that's how we're gonna end it. I think we're all pretty conclusively saying Bills, Vikings, and then Seahawks.
Yeah.
Are we?
Bills, Steelers, Vikings, Seahawks.
Yes.
It's Steelers and Titans. I'd have to dive into the tiebreaker because I think they're gonna finish tied. But that'll wrap up this episode. If you have any suggestions for future episodes, let us know at AmateurPDC on Twitter or Instagram. You can comment on YouTube, Amateur Sports. Subscribe there. Follow on Spotify if you're listening there. And come back soon for more daily content. We haven't missed a day since September 20th.